Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 12.
Today is going to be a new challenge, aside from being Sanford. We're racing on the surface of the sun, apparently.
Heading down towards the main start line.
Maximizing that track just behind. That's exactly what we were talking about. That one corner. So critical to your lap time. You have to send it. This is the apex curving there by a little bit.
Everybody's now bunched up, and you do not want that.
Rewind now at the end of Sector 1 in the spot you really don't want to, but the fight's not over.
Still there on the inside, and the McLaren's still not going to give the place up.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Good evening. Welcome to D2, round 4 in season 13. We are here in wet Nurburgring. Host for today, Arjun, and joining me in the booth is Ilpo Ratsalainen. How are you doing, Ilpo? It's so good, yeah. I mean, you did have a really good race yesterday, and with Nurburgring, it's such an interesting combination. It seems like everyone has done it over and over again. Like, I've done it so many times in Enduros. Oh wait, you muted on stream. Can you talk? Let me try to sort out the audio. Okay, you're not heard on stream. That's good. Let me fix that real quick. All right, try now.
Yep.
All right, there you go. You hear it now. There you go. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for the help, Diego. We're back. Yeah, you had a great race yesterday, and you're hoping for we've done Nurburgring so many times in the wet, so I guess it must be pretty familiar feeling for you then.
Yeah, and also yesterday felt so easy. Of like the last couple of hours in the endurance race in the darkness with the darkness and spray is just awful. So having to do the same thing in daylight is just like easy money.
Gotcha. Okay, let's look into the calendar right now. We are in round 4, and that we're like at near the halfway mark of the season. We had a pretty insane race run 2 and 3 in D2. I hope that we're gonna have an even exciting race in Nurburgring, because it's wet for one. Second, people have done the enduro, like you said. It was completely wet. So yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. And moving on to the track map. The track's located in Nurburgring. I hope I got the umlaut right. Track is 5.148 kilometers or 3.2 miles with 15 turns with 9 right-handers, 6 left-handers, and we're racing in, unfortunately, the GP layout, not Nords, which opened up in 1984 after the track was closed after an unfortunate accident involving Niki Lauda. So yeah, let's go on. I guess the drivers are already out on track. Oh, that's Jason Allen.
So it looks like it's gonna be a fully wet qualifying at least. We can't really say for the race because it is set to be a few hours after the qualifying in the virtual time.
Oh yeah, and we had dry races when it's supposed to be wet in the past. I remember D3 a while back. I think it was around season 11, if I remember, when we had dry coda.
Also yesterday, I believe one of the races started as dry and then started raining like 10 minutes in or so. And even in this server, in the practice, it was showing no rain predicted, so it is possible. The probability for the race not being wet is relatively low, but it is possible that it might stop raining.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty fun because people wanted that in the enduro, like it's to stop raining, which fortunately we did not get. Maybe you would get that in Team Series. I do not know. And
Yeah, it would be. It would definitely make things interesting, but it also. I feel like in a race this short, it can make the strategy really kind of risky, because the very early pit stop is a viable strategy if you have a bad qualifying, or maybe you have a qualifying ban from a previous round. But if you do that and then it stops raining halfway through the race, which you cannot see necessarily at the start because you get only half an hour of weather prediction, that could really screw things up. So we'll have to see how much risk people are prepared to take.
as we have our first set of laps coming around for the silver drivers, a 203. That is a decent amount of rain, or it's like medium to light rain, right? In terms of pace.
It is. Yeah, it is currently medium rain, but it's very hard to say what the track conditions are when you're not driving. Like, looking at the way the track looks like, this could be anything from almost 2-minute flats to about what they are doing now, or what is like even possible in these conditions. We can't really tell because we obviously, without being actually on the track and driving, we can't tell the grip level that much.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think the first lap is gonna be the fastest, because purely having cars driving on the track will dry it out and reduce the standing water. So probably around the last lap of the silver qualifying, it will be about as dry as it is gonna get. Unless, well, yeah, they don't have, there's no minus or plus rain in 10 minutes, so.
Just plus rain in 30 minutes, so we might get
Yeah.
minus rain in around like when halfway through maybe the gold qualifying, which it's less rain, but that might make a difference ever so slightly.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even show for very small changes anyway, but those small changes will make a difference in lap times, like probably will up to at least half a second. But I do believe that just purely having the cars driving around will improve the lap times. And I think there are more gold drivers than there are silver drivers. So once the golds go out, it's probably going to dry up even a little bit more.
Yes, as we see Max Diggs here, he's improved greatly over his banker lap, 1.7 seconds up on his personal best. That will put him in provisional pole. There we go. We're already in the 202, so yeah, I can definitely see at least 201s, if not 2-minute deads, like the 2-minute sub 201s.
Yeah, I think it doesn't look that wet currently, so but it is, again, really hard to know how it feels like when driving.
Yeah, and these drivers are also, well, a lot of them are super. They are pretty comfortable in these conditions now. After Saturday, as he had Max Diggs, he's stuck behind traffic. I believe that's Krochik. Mustang, might see the Mustang. I'm kind of interested to see how much the Mustangs struggle, because we know the Mustangs did struggle yesterday in D1. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how far, like how the whole field is shaken up. That said, we do have a Mustang in P2 in Silver Division.
I think that says something about the drivers right now, because especially if you listen to the guys who drove a different car in the endurance, where it definitely rained a lot. Some of those drivers were driving the Mustang yesterday, and they were saying that it is significantly worse in these conditions than some of the other cars they were driving, like the Aston especially. I know Flanger was really complaining about how bad the Mustang feels compared to the Aston.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I can promise you the Aston is really good here in the rain.
Oh yeah, as you demonstrated yesterday.
Yeah, it's just very easy to drive.
Yeah. One car I would say would be a car to look out for is the Honda. I don't think we have a Honda in D2, so I guess it's a fair balance. But then again, we also have the Porsches, and the Porsches are also super strong in the rain, as long as it stays raining and it's not drying up.
Yeah, the Porsches are really annoying to deal with in these conditions if you're like stuck behind one but you're faster, because the acceleration they have out from the slow corners is just incredible. Like the traction is just amazing. But yeah, no Hondas in this race, so we don't get to see any of that. I do think... Well, I don't actually know how good the BMW is. I do believe it should be pretty decent. Not like best, but okay at least.
I remember Guy Manperson at Spa around, I think it was season 10. He was struggling in the rain, and so was his teammate. I don't know. The BMW might not be the best car in the rain, but I will be happily corrected in this one.
I do think we were racing a BMW in a 12 hours of Spa endurance, like last summer I think it was, where it rained a lot, and they were doing pretty okay. We were doing better in the Aston long into the stint, because both the Mustangs and the BMWs seem to have problems with rear tire wear over long stints, which we didn't really have, but yeah. But it also depends so much on the track. This obviously is a very different track from Spa, so...
Oh yeah. I guess Spa has a lot of stability, and with a lot of sweeping corners, you need that stability and that high speed, the mid to high speed grip in the wets. Which in Nurburgring, you don't have a lot of high speed corners. So maybe a Schumacher S's, but it's mostly low to medium speed. A lot of traction zones, which is where like cars like the Porsche, they come out on top.
So, interestingly enough, it did start showing minus rain in 10, just about as it went past 10 minutes remaining. So I do believe the best possible conditions are going to be on the last lap for the golds.
Oh.
So it's going to be potentially kind of like a one lap thing.
We got it. And Santana also improving. He's half a second up on his PB, which I don't think will gain him any positions. As yeah, gold drivers are out on track now. The 296, as pointed out by Alexa in the chat, it can be good in the wets too. I feel like the 296 is more of a safe bet. It doesn't particularly excel in the rain, it's just decent.
And I do think that it's just generally not a very good car at this track. Because I do believe one of its strengths is high-speed corners. The aero on that car is quite impressive. So I'm not sure how good it is in the wet on this track in particular. They didn't have the strongest of showings yesterday. But we'll see. And obviously, at this level, the driver's comfort level in the conditions is significantly much more important than what the car is theoretically capable of doing.
Yes, we got Ivan McCrow. He's the first of the gold drivers to start his lap. Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rain may have started decreasing. Like, yeah, it is decreasing, and like you said, and the last to start the last lap will be have the best track.
Yes, quite likely there is even going to be a difference between who starts it early and who starts it late. It is definitely going to decrease right at the end of qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like in these times it would be a good idea to just set a banker, to return to the garage, and just put a new set of bats on, because you get infinite sets anyway. Not that there's like limited sets in Team Series races.
Possibly, although I'm not sure how important the tire wear is in just 10 minutes on the wets. Obviously, if you get your pressures wrong, then I would just put down a banker and go fix it, because it's better to do only like two flying laps, but at least one of them with the right pressures, than just stay out and hope for the best. But also in the wet, it's very hard to do like one and done type
Yeah.
of last lap. You kind of need a couple of laps to figure out just exactly how much grip you have and where you can brake, and how hard can you get on the throttle without losing the tail. So
Oh, I'm wrong. Jason Allen is the first to start the lap, his flying lap, which, look at how far he is ahead of Ivan. And how far Ivan is ahead of, Roy.
that is interesting.
Actually, no, he did not start his lap. Or maybe,
Maybe he just went out very late.
Yeah. Because Ivan's our first to set a time, I believe. And no? Did he invalidate? Oh, Brian Anderson. That's our first driver to set a lap. So I believe Ivan and Jason might have invalidated the lap, because I do see a lot of blues on the map.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the indication of who's on a valid lap has become so unreliable in ACC since the Nordschleife was added.
That's what braking on wet curves does to you in the rain.
Yep, it is not recommended.
Ooh, we got Coach here with a pretty fast banker lap as well. Not enough to get a provisional pull, but it's enough to like get ahead of the silver drivers.
Yeah, he got a really nice sector 1.
Yeah. And how are we gonna not talk about Doug Mitchell? He's back in the he's back in the car. I think Diego gave him a shout out in the chat. He shall be safe. We shall keep him safe. No one's gonna take him out, except for the car behind him, probably. But, yeah, he's yeah, Doug's back. Our reigning champion's back. There we go. So, yeah, Brian Anderson, he is improving. Yeah, I guess one thing that sets wet qualifying apart from dry qualifying is that it is so easy to lose all the advantage you built up, which I believe a lot of drivers are doing. Because, you know, one small mistake, just running ever so slightly under the curb, can make you lose half a second just because you can't put the foot down and the traction control turns on.
Yeah, it can be really frustrating as well. Like, you do all the hard parts of the track really well, and then in an easy corner you just go like an inch too far on the curb, and or not necessarily, you don't even need to hit the curb. Like, you just get a tiny bit of oversteer, and the TC kicks in, and then your car is not going anywhere, and there goes 3/10.
Yeah. Like Roy Key, I believe, gained all his time to put him into P2 on the final corner. So, yeah, that's
the final corner is really hard.
Yeah. And also, Brian Anderson and Roy Key, both of them are a quarter of a second up on their personal best. So is Ivan McCroat. And Josh Damiani here also put it in, well, on the front row alongside his teammate.
It is impressive though that Diggs still has the fastest first sector of anyone, and by relatively large margin.
Oh yeah. It's like, I mean, it is only like, we're talking about a 58.135 compared to a 58.185 set by Eric Boardman, who's in the Porsche as well.
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah.
And he's the first one to actually get close on those sector 1 times. Although we can also see the differences between cars. The Mustang obviously isn't that strong in sector 1, so we should expect to see a Porsche topping sector 1, I think.
Yeah. Josh Damiani is fastest in sector 2, by the way. In fact, he's at a 45.69, and Brian Anderson is the fastest in the third sector. with a time of 18.085.
He is massively up.
Yeah.
He's almost half a second up on this lap.
Yeah, and he's still gaining time there. The track is getting better, and the drivers are getting into the groove. That puts him on provisional pole.
Yeah. And if he hadn't made a tiny mistake in the last sector, he would probably had like at least a tenth, maybe even 2 more in that lap. So
Yeah.
there is still time there, and 1 more lap to go.
Yeah, Diggs no longer has the fastest sector 1. That goes to Brian Anderson, who also fastest first and third sector.
It's very impressive to get fastest first sector in the Mustang, I think, because the car is just not very strong there. I mean, it's good on the main straight, but then anything after that in sector 1 is just not what the car is very good at.
Unless you, well, I mean, the copious amount of trail braking that you need to get this car to turn around could help, but in the rain, you're running minimum brake bias. You're running minimum brake bias in the dries in the Mustang, and you're not gonna get any braking performance in this car. It's a Chungus.
Yeah, it can be a real problem if you can't get the brake bias far enough to the rear.
Josh Damiani, he's also, so he gained so much time in the first sector.
Yeah, he's still gaining more.
Yeah. I mean, you're seeing a lot of drivers sitting red times now. Maybe their tires have started to go past their honeymoon period despite the track being dry.
Or maybe just over pushing now that it's kind of do or die time.
Yeah. Which makes sense because even Josh Damiani, he lost his advantage. He lost 3/10s in the hairpin.
Yeah, he made like a couple of mistakes in a row. And it's also very hard, like, when you're really on a good lap and you make a small mistake and you lose like part of your gains. It's very hard to stay focused and not make another mistake.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Who else is improving? Yeah, no one's improving in race control at least. So I think that wraps up qualifying. Let's Paulie Hartman can put a. Oh, he's gaining time. There we go.
He started gaining significant. Oh, but
Oh, he ran deep.
not way too deep.
Yeah. Yeah, he got a really good chicane, and yeah, he just decided to do a funny because his that's a 6360. But yeah, he just kind of cooked into the final quarter. But yeah, that's qualifying. On pole, we have Roy Key, followed by the 2 Mustang teammates of Brian Anderson and Josh Damiani. Let's go on to the driver standings. And if you notice here, we're missing John Lass. He got moved up to D1. So our championship leader now is Ivan McCroat, followed by Jason Allen. I feel like Jason's just moving everyone to D1, so he has a shot of winning the championship.
Well, I would say the drivers that got moved to D1 were doing pretty well for themselves in D1, so I do think they belong there. Obviously, it's always hard, like, where do you draw the line, like, who should be where, but I do think they did really well yesterday.
Yeah. So, and then right behind Jason is Roy Key, Donovan Colton, Nick San, Josh Damiani, and Brian Anderson. That both teammates are side by side each other with Penis, Kurt LeMay, Paulie Hartman, and yeah, that's our top 10. We also have Nico Suave, Louis Daniel Velez, Eric Boardman, coach, Michael Jeffries, Andre Velasquez, Brian Ryder, Thomas Holhausen, Jay Kraus. Have we found his first name yet? Is it Jack? I believe. I think I raced with him in another league. But
I don't know.
And then you have Ian Byron, Matt Arnhem, Michael Schwartz, Austin Weiscarver. Oh, by the way, Ian Byron and Matt Arnhem are tied on points, 80 on each other. And then you have Austin Weiscarver at 69 points and Alexis. Nice. Max Diggs, Paul Kreska, Matt Higgs. Did I confuse Max Diggs and Matt Higgs?
Yeah, it can be a little bit confusing between them.
Yeah, and Jared Seckham rounding up the first page. And in page 2, we have Logan Schaefer, Joe Sodre, Adam Santana tied to points with Josh Worley, with Dustin Fickert, Alex Krochek, Andy Speed, Kevin Kovac, Ethan Marvin, Art, who I think up in front in silvers, and Mike Gina, Cody Platt, Doug, who's finally back in the race, Kevin Rivera, and Caleb Yarrington, who has 0 points. Team standings. Drivers are rolling, by the way. We have Champion Motorsport 3 Nuts with Josh Amian, Brian Anderson. They are starting second and third this race. It's their race to lose. We have Eric Boardman, Kurt LeMay, Porsches. These two are also in the front. Then we have Donovan Colton and Ian Byron. I believe they're mid-pack in this race, right? Oh wait, Colton is P9 and Byron's P29. So yeah, they have an uphill battle. And then we have Penis Miller and Thomas Alhazen in the first Ferrari. And then we have Signan Racing with Matt Higgs and Nick Sand. Nick is carrying Matt really hard in this championship. And we also have Dustin Fickert and Roy Key with in P6. Roy Key, our pole sitter for this race. With the next team, Madhouse Racing in TC8. I don't know what TC8 stands for. Brian Ryder and Andre Velasquez. And then we have Villa Spacing, Ivan McCrow, and Doug Mitchell. Madhouse ahead of Pillars, Take It Diego. And then Planny Racing with Jason Allen, Mike Gino. And then running up our top 10 is the other champion Motorsport Mustang with Alex Krochek and Nico Suave. And now we go on to the race.
And it is indeed going to be a fully wet first half of the race at least, and probably a little bit further as well, because it is displaying medium rain, so I don't think it's gonna stop raining anytime soon, but there is a possibility that it will stop raining near the end of the race.
But
A small probability, but it is possible.
even then, it's not gonna be. It's still gonna be dry. It's gonna be a wet tires track because the track's not gonna dry fast enough.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
The track does actually dry faster than you would think. That's what we learned in the Enduro. It took only like 10 minutes to go from about this wet to fully dry when the rain stopped. Or not fully dry, but like greasy, where slicks up much better.
Yeah.
But I would consider it very unlikely that anyone is gonna stay out that long anyway, because you're gonna lose time staying on old wets. Even though the wets will make it to 60 minutes easy, the performance does drop off.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
do- In fact, I would say from yesterday what I learned is that even on the wets the undercut is powerful. I didn't think it would be that strong on the wets, but
Same.
Can kind of prove otherwise.
Is there a mandatory tire change this race?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No refueling, mandatory tire change, so
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the wet tires are pretty durable compared to the dries. Yeah.
and also
Very good.
the performance drop off isn't quite like there isn't that kind of cliff like you have on the dries.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have the drivers going into the final corner. I forgot to say their order. We have Roy Key, Brian Anderson, Josh Amian, Kurt Lemmy, Ivan McCrow, Eric Boardman, Logan Schaefer, Michael Jeffries, Nick Sand, Donald Colton, rounding up our top 10. We're on board with Eric Boardman as we enter the final quarter. Turn one's going to be interesting. I mean, you probably know how to keep it clean at this point. We're D2. Most of these drivers have done the Enduro. They've done the practice race. Don't want to jinx it, but go green now as actually it seems like a decent start. It seems like Kurt Lemay has lost a bit of traction ground to Josh Damiani, but everyone's double file here as we go. Oh, So Eric Boardman, he goes super wide. Oh, we got people bumping into each other. We got a traffic jam, but everyone's still alive. We got 4 wide.
No major incidents. A couple of small ops there to avoid, but looks like we are fine.
Yeah, and it is one of the. Oh, I got someone. We got someone super wide there.
Matt Artim unfortunately got banged in turn 2.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is one of the slowest turn ones in this race, and people coming to a crawl. Oh, we got Alison Weiscarver. He's facing the wrong way. Oh, do not move. What? Okay, that's a whack.
That's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like the front pack is kind of splitting up quite quickly this time.
Yeah, we have Royke already opening up nearly a second to Brian Anderson with the 2 Mustang teammates pretty close to each other with a small gap to Kurt LeMay. And who was?
However,
Yep.
around P15 there is significant fighting going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got Art with. I was right all over him. And we got 2 wide going there, so Lamborghini of Matt Higgs going 2 wide with Jason Allen there. And you have Doug going 2 wide with Thomas Alhausen, and he runs super. He got the outside line, he got pushed onto the curb, he just lost so much ground there. Oh, that's not Doug, that's Adam Santana. They're both blue cars.
Yeah, Doug actually gained in all of that, but let's see how everybody makes through the chicane, because that's probably the second most dangerous place on this track after turn 1 on lap 1.
These guys made it 2 wide and lived to tell the tale, so props to them.
Actually, everybody lived through the chicane on lap 1. That is nice. It doesn't always happen that way.
Got Max Diggs in the pits. Is he trying to do an early stop just to get the clean hair and avoid the spray? Wonder how's that's gonna work out in the long term.
Few others in pits. Matt Artim and Weiscarver, I guess they both had significant damage.
Oh yeah. These 2 are the only casualties from lap 1, if I remember. I think Max Diggs also might have been part of the turn 1 bumper car fest. Because everyone's coming to a halt. The traffic jam in turn 1. But yeah, these 2 are the biggest victims of turn 1.
Meanwhile, Anderson has caught up to Royke. They are very close again.
Oh yeah. What was the sector time between them? I think, yeah.
Very hard to say because it was the first lap, but
yeah.
But it's also always interesting because the cars have such different strengths and weaknesses. So one driver might be a lot faster through some parts of the track, but not overall faster.
Oh yeah. Like I remember in Enduro, I was making all my time in just the chicane alone, and then losing it across the track as Brian Anderson gets super close to Royke there, and he backs off, runs wide, loses a position to his teammate. Will he lose the position to Kurt LeMay? No, he shuts the door on him, and he holds on to P3 for now. But yeah, he just lost a lot of ground there with a failed pass on Royke.
And that lets Damiani and Anderson get away pretty much.
Yeah. We're gonna get a dive bomb from Krause. No, he tucks it right behind Coach there. Ooh. He got a dive bomb. We got a whack. As Ian Byron on Thomas Alhausen as Byron pulls across the side. I think we got more cars in the pits now. We got Jason Allen, Josh Worley, and Doug Mitchell.
I do believe those are actual pit stops.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Now from a strategy perspective, it's maybe a little bit early. I think, like, if I was locked behind the traffic, I would probably stay out for like 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then pit. Just so that I don't have to drive on absolutely trashed tires at the end.
Yeah.
Also, we are now predicting an increase in the rain in half an hour, so it will almost certainly be completely wet all the way to the end. And that increase in rain might cause problem for the early pitters in case they took tire pressures for the current conditions without seeing that increase. So they might have very low tire pressures when the rain gets wet.
Got a car off in the distance. Is that that was Ethan Marvin? What's happened here? Oh, he just got bumped by the Porsche there.
Yeah, the Porsche went onto the curbing while braking and lost it slightly.
Yeah, Ethan Marvin, someone who has no luck in S. Whenever I hop on him, he's not lucky. I never seen him have good luck ever in SRA. Is that it?
Damiani, I think, is slightly gaining on Roy Key.
Well, he does have the fastest lap. I believe he was he was 4/10 faster than Roy Key in the previous lap. Yeah, Ethan Marvin is the luckiest driver. That's sorry. Yeah, I agree. Oh, we got people going to wide in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. That is, I believe, Penis and Velez. As he gets run so wide, and Martino is going to try to capitalize on him getting on the curbs. It's going to be tight for them as... Oh, they got a bit of bump. Oh,
Luckily nobody died, but yeah, it's a risk to try a too wide through turn 4, because if you get screwed, you might lose position to someone who is not involved, and we have a too wide going through the hairpin.
Oh yeah.
Hartmann and Arc went too wide, and they are still trying to figure out who is gonna be in front.
It looks like it's Hartmann for now, but there's a whole train right behind them, so they do not want to make any mistakes. Just touching the curb and the exit that's gonna mean that someone's gonna get past us. Velez is literally on the bumper of Art now. What the hell the spray's like for the drivers behind? It doesn't look too bad on camera, but trust me, it'll be way worse for the drivers.
I don't think it's that bad in these daylight conditions, to be fair. I mean, obviously, if you didn't do the endurance and you haven't been driving in the wet recently and so on, it'll feel really bad. But after the darkness, it just isn't that horrible. Like it's annoying, but it's not like you can't see anything.
Yeah. You got Mueller and Santana in the pits. Wait, we got something. Oh, Arc is dead. Arc is dying. He's still dying. That's a lot of damage for the BMW driver there, and he. Yeah, let's go back for a second there, as he got bumped by Velez, and he got bumped by Higgs, and he got bumped by Kovac, and actually no, he got spun around there.
Yeah, that last one was a bit. I think he probably shouldn't have moved there, and that might have been enough to avoid it, but it is unfortunate, and obviously the initial contact was completely not his fault.
Yeah. They got a new fastest lap for the race, Brian Anderson. His fastest lap is a 50... no, not 50? No. 02.39. And hopping on to Max Diggs here, he has gotten ahead... He's ahead of the drivers who have pitted. So clearly, the lap 1 undercut probably worked in his favor to get ahead of traffic with the clean air.
Yeah, the question is it gonna bite back at the end? But we'll see. It's very hard to tell about how pit strategies are gonna work in this kind of conditions.
Yeah. Then again, the Porsche is one of the most difficult cars to overtake on this track. That is exits. And the fact that this track itself is difficult to overtake unless you are really confident and comfortable in dive bombing into turn 1. So
Going for an overtake on Boardman.
oh, I'm missing out. There we go. McCroat to actually Boardman seems to keep his line there, but McCroat has the inside in the old switcheroo, but is he gonna use that to stay around? Well, actually no.
If he can stick around the outside, that might work. But yeah, he backs out.
Yeah, you're not gonna beat the portion in attraction zone, especially in the Mustang in the rain. Yeah, like I was saying, if Porsche is one of the difficult cars to overtake in this track in this condition. So if Max digs, he barrels into lap time, gets a good track position after the pit cycle. He's actually in the best spot than if he would. He would be in a better spot than if he actually was to stay out for 30 minutes and then pit.
Yes. Looking at the pit stop times so far, only Matt Artem and Austin Weiscarver have actually significantly higher pit stop times, so they definitely have repaired damage. I think they both repaired like 20 seconds worth. Everybody else, I do believe, only did the mandatory stop.
Yeah. You have Logan Schaefer here in the top 10. The Lexus, I remember when the Lexus used to be so strong in the rain, and then the tire overhaul came and it got nerfed to the ground. I say nerfed, it got balanced.
Also, I think we have a new fastest lap.
Kurt LeMay. Alright, never mind. Roy Key. Yeah, he's opened up nearly a second to Josh Damiani, who's only 2 tenths slower than him in the previous lap.
McCroat is still trying to get past Boardman.
Ooh, Boardman goes pretty deep. But
Pretty much the same thing as the last lap.
yeah. Oh, he got back set, and Logan Schaefer is going alongside him. And he also, I think he maybe ran out of grip there on the inside.
Or maybe just thought better of it. Sometimes it's better to play it safe, but
I mean, he probably had the cleanest lap 1 out of all this race. So these drivers are definitely playing it nice. The driver briefing was long, I will admit, from what I've seen. So I imagine there was a bit of rambling from the stewards as pleading these drivers to keep it clean. And I think it's working. P3 was cleaner.
this battle between Boardman and McCroat is also bringing the cars behind into the mix.
Yeah, as Colton loses his position just because he runs over the curb. Like, it was so easy for Cross to get past him. Also, by the way, shout out to Grandma Colton. She's watching the DT stream. And yeah, I guess these two are also catching up to the train with Boardman in it. Yeah, how many cars do you have?
That can also be a real problem when you're stuck with someone who is slower but hard to overtake, is that if you keep trying to overtake and pushing, you're giving an opportunity for the cars behind to catch up. And then if you make a small mistake, you could potentially lose multiple positions. So sometimes you have to kind of think about your strategy.
Yeah. When McCroat's in the pits.
Yeah, he makes the smart call. He tried to overtake a couple of laps in a row. Didn't work, so why not go for the undercut? That's a pretty good play. At this point, we can be completely certain that it's not gonna dry before the end of the race. It is still showing medium rain, increasing medium rain for the next 30 minutes. So it's not gonna dry in 15 minutes after that.
Yeah, it's Yeah, but I'm wondering how the drivers in that pack are gonna react to the pit, to McRo's pit, as we see Arc here getting past Khalid Platt. That's a
I
even
think Macrot is, I think, definitely gonna come out from the pits in front of anybody else who has pitted. The question is anybody gonna try to cover him by pitting
Oh, wait,
immediately now?
Look who's right behind. Actually, no. I think it's a fair few seconds behind McRoat.
Yeah, it's about 5 seconds between them, I think.
But where's that gonna put Diggs once these people have pitted?
I think that's gonna probably put Diggs in nearly top 10.
Ooh, Colton loses the position to Coach there. We did see him on the curb, as we see Coach on the curb, and now it's a drag race to the chicane. Actually, Colton backs out. He concedes the position. Probably knew that Coach was gonna be faster than him.
Roiki has managed to actually finally pull away from Damiani. The gap is now 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
They were roughly 1 second apart for quite a while.
Yeah, he has the clean air, he has the control of the pace, and he just decides to extend it. Does he have 2 Lamborghinis hunting down Paulie Hartman? I say 2. Matt Higgs is only half. It's like around 2 seconds behind Velez. Also, I realize I'm using the wrong overlay.
Looking at the speed trap data, not so surprisingly, Logan Scheffer has the fastest speed trap at 245 kph.
Is that good? We got the relatives. Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, he is in a Lexus with the tow.
But it's not like so most of the Mustangs are only 1 kph down, and so is Jeffries in the Aston. But that's also not very surprising. Aston is rather good on straight line speed in wet because it runs the full wing everywhere, always, pretty much.
Yeah, Aston?
Yeah, Aston runs full wing almost everywhere. The only exceptions are things like Monza. It doesn't go any faster with less wing. It just accelerates to the top speed a little bit earlier.
Ooh, that's pretty aggressive from Velez there. How did he even live? Like, I was kind of expecting like the ACC dead bounce to catch him off guard there. As Colton goes into the pits, yeah, I think this is around the time which you normally consider for an undercut. But I also think Colton has been losing a lot of time. Maybe his high pressures are out of the window, or he has damage from lap 1, which he's still hanging on to.
I can't remember seeing him get involved in any major accidents, but I mean, he might have a little bit of damage, but in the wet, small damage doesn't really usually matter that much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any pace advantage you have can instantly be neutralized by just running wide ever so slightly.
Yep. And also, it is quite possible he had the tire pressures a little bit wrong, and that's why he decided to pit early, because it's very hard to get them right. You have to predict so much, because you don't, like, people rarely all run in practice at the same time, so you don't actually know how much the traffic is gonna dry the track.
Yeah. As Max X comes out around 5 seconds, or around 3 seconds ahead of Donovan Colton, that's gonna put him in the top 10 if when everyone pits around like the 30 minutes mark.
Yeah, I think the prediction currently is that he's gonna be roughly top 10-ish.
Yeah, but how? I mean, let's see. He just got passed by Coach. So I assume maybe like P7, P8, maybe these guys battling as he and Nick Sand entering the pits. If he, we'll see right now where he comes out ahead of Mac compared to Max Diggs.
It's interesting to see how many early pit stops there are in this race. I have a feeling these drivers were paying attention to the D1 and how well the early stops worked.
Definitely. Also doesn't help that they're stuck in a battle or stuck in traffic, and they're probably pitting to just get the clean air.
Oh, for sure. But it's still interesting. Let's see. There's not a whole lot of battle action going on right now.
Yeah. One thing to keep an eye on is where Nick Sand comes out. We still have this battle going on between Paulie Hartman and Louis Daniel Velez.
Yeah, they've been at it for quite a while. It's not super close. I don't think they have been closer than about half a second for the past couple of laps. But they also haven't been any further away from that.
Yeah. They're setting pretty similar lap times, but it's just like a tenth faster than Hartman last lap. Let's we have confirmation that Nick Sand actually comes out ahead of Max Diggs, so there's my prediction being wrong. I don't think Max Diggs is going to be P7. I think he'll just be P10. The gap, but yeah. Nick Sand comes out right behind Ivan Marcrote. Then coming back to this battle here, yeah, if you did have that one time where nearly ran over Paulie Hartman at the chicane. But yeah, that's... Oh, we have a new battle popping up here between Doug Mitchell and Thomas Holthazen, who just got out of the pits. The wet tires do warm up pretty fast though. So
Yeah, it's maybe one lap
yeah,
that you need. Maybe not even that much. Although I think in these conditions it was about one lap that you need to get them fully up. But they are also not terrible at, like, it's not like slicks where if you don't have the full temps they are just completely useless. It's more like they're just a little bit slow.
yeah. So you have Matt Higgs going into the pits. I believe, I mean, he is teammates with Nick Sand, so assume maybe there's some team communication on when's a good time to pit. We have another battle brewing up here between Kraus and Nico Suave. Actually no, Suave has not pitted yet.
Neither of these guys have pitted yet.
Yeah.
And on the last lap, Kraus got up by about half a second.
Yeah, Kraus is absolutely flying right now.
Actually, I would say Suave's last lap was kind of bad.
But he did put a similar lap time to Logan Schaefer.
But they both are quite slow compared to the other guys and compared to their own best laps, so
Yeah.
maybe a mistake, or maybe the conditions might be changing.
Yeah, I don't think we can chalk this up to tire wear because, you know, he's losing time to a Porsche.
Well, actually, I do believe the Mustang is also pretty rough on the rear tires in the wets. At least in my experience from endurance racing, the Mustangs that are in a similar pace category with us usually do well early in the wet stint, and then late in the wet stint we are significantly faster than them. But it could also be just like driving style differences.
So, yeah, we had a near move for position between Krojcik and Velasquez, but Krojcik just shutting the door on Velasquez. As you have Boardman, Schaefer, and Nico Suave coming into the pits.
Yeah, it's very close to the midpoint of the race, so we can expect to see most of the remaining drivers pit pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah, this is like the last attempt of trying to go for an undercut. So you have Mueller making a move on Matt Higgs there, and Higgs just holds his position. And they're gonna lose time to Jason Allen, and they're gonna get pushed slowly into Josh Worley. And something interesting to put is Jason Allen, I believe, had a terrible qualifying, and he's 2 seconds behind Donovan Colton. I said Colton is a good distance behind the other drivers. As we have Logan Schaefer coming alongside the pits alongside Nick Sandin, who drops the car on the exit off the corner there. As we have a car stopped on track. That's Adam Santana. What happened here? I moved too far back. I'm an idiot. Apologies.
That's quite a long replay.
Yeah.
But we'll make through.
It doesn't even show what happened. I think you did see him stopped on the track, so maybe a hard drive failure. The gap between these guys have increased. Where was I? Logan Schaefer, Nick Sand.
Rocky in the pits from P1.
Yeah. Leaders in the pits. That gives the lead now to Josh Damiani, followed by his teammate Brian Anderson and Kurt LeMay, who I believe are the other 3 drivers in the battle for top 10. But was Logan Schaefer, coming back to this battle here, was Logan ahead of Nick before Nick pitted, or was it the other way around? Because it seems like they just came alongside each other at the while Logan got out of the pits.
I'm not sure, but I have a feeling they might have been the other way around.
See Logan pushing hard there.
Oh no, that's a disaster.
Ooh.
Stop and go 30 for speeding in the pits for Rocky.
No, that's the leader as well.
He's thrown it away.
That sucks. The absolute worst way to lose the lead there. Just when I think this happened to Ivan McCrone and Suzuka as well. That's just tragic. Also,
That is indeed very tragic.
yeah, this is the second time in 4 races that we have the leader lose the lead from speeding in the pit lane, stop and go 30. So, yeah, that sucks big time. And that means if everything goes well, the person who's going to inherit the lead here is Josh Damiani.
It definitely should be Josh Damiani. I do think he has a gap on anyone who potentially could be challenging for the lead.
Well, he has 4 seconds over his teammate. Also, to answer your question, Diego, I don't think Jason died. He just had a really good. He just spit in lap 1. That's where's Roy now? He's in P13. And maybe if he's lucky he'll come out in the top 10. Yes. How much time do you lose in the pits? I do not remember.
When the pit lane is, I think, like, from memory I would say like 28, 29 seconds or so, plus the 30-second stop, plus time you lose coming in, going out, and doing the actual like slowing to the stop and accelerating away. So he's gonna lose like a minute.
Yeah.
A little bit more than a minute, I would say. Jason Allen is under quite a lot of pressure. There's quite a train forming behind him.
Oh yeah, that is a bigger train than where's right at us. It's surprising because I believe there was a gap. He pulled out a gap between Matt Higgs and Mueller, but that seems the gap has closed down.
Jeffries takes the fastest lap by a margin of 1/10 of a second, which is quite impressive at this stage of the race. I mean, he is on fresh tires, I believe. I think he has done his stop. No, he hasn't even done his stop. That's on old tires. That's very impressive.
Coach is flying. And the fastest lap is a 2-minute 02.012. We're really close to breaking into the sub 2:02s.
Unfortunately, his next lap is not a very good one, but
Yeah.
I mean, at least he has the potential there.
Oh, we
I
have
do
two
think-
leaders in the pits, by the way. Both of them.
Yes, and now we have to see what kind of gap they have when they come out.
This is interesting. Porsche and Porsche battles there. They go too wide into Schumacher S. I wouldn't trust anyone to go too wide with me and Schumacher S. Props both of them for making it out alive, but Ivan McCrow is right on the bumper, so I don't know if that was worth it. Coming back to this battle here, since Mueller's on the bumper of Matt Higgs again. Griffey's gonna try to make another move and make it slick this time. I see you have a car stopped.
That was Rocky. I think he just gave up.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for him. I don't even see it. I couldn't even hop onto him in race control.
But Damiani is out from the pits with the 6-second lead on Anderson for what is effectively P1 in the race.
Yeah. That is, that's actually, it seems like, yeah, I think Anderson lost a bit of time in the pits because
Yes.
he came out right in front of Kurt Lemay and Eric Boardman.
Anderson's stop time was 2 seconds longer than Damiani's.
Which, you know, checks out. He lost a few seconds there. And, oh, you got, was that two drivers getting super slow? I don't think it was. I think there is just a slow corner. Yeah, also Max Diggs is ahead of Donovan Colton and right on the bumper of Nico Suave, so I think he did put himself in top 10 there with that early stop. Now he's just got to hold in, but he's... I mean, oh, Max Higgs has died. Go 15 seconds back as he got bumped by... yeah, he got bumped by Mueller there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But at least he only lost I think 4 positions, so it's not as bad as it could have been.
Oh yeah, and Mueller lost the position to Hartman as well. As we have we have more drivers from the lead pitting. We got Dustin Fickett, Mike Gino, and Cody Platt.
Yeah, we have 3 drivers who have not entered the pit yet. Kraus, Jeffries, and Arkt.
I believe, wait, Arkt has not stopped?
That
Yes.
is what the game is telling me.
Yeah. And it also makes sense because he's in P3 despite this incident. So,
Yeah, so he's probably just trying to stay in clear air and push the laps as hard as he can.
yeah. So Mike Gino comes out in the Ferrari train with one Porsche sandwich in the middle. That's Kevin Kovac, surrounded by 4 Ferraris.
Lemay is still under some pressure, maybe a little bit managing to finally find some pace. Oh, and he makes a mistake just as I say that, and now the Porsche saw on the bumper again.
But yeah, And yeah, it looks like Anderson's struggling slightly. His line through the second apex of Schumacher S seems like he's just sideways over that curb. Just hop on board with Kurt LeMay. That's not a lot of spray. That said, the car in front of him, you can barely see his brake lights.
It's just about enough to be annoying, but not like... Yeah, at least you can see the track. When it's really bad, you can't even see the track. And yeah, then it's really bad.
Yeah. And it seems like Kurt LeMay is just putting the pressure on Brian Anderson. I wonder if he's going to buckle under pressure. But
It's very hard to overtake here, especially when the car in front has all the straight line speed in the world.
unless you're in a Porsche with good brakes and good acceleration.
It's still very hard to overtake.
Yeah, that is
Like,
true.
The Mustang is so fast on the straight.
You have Kevin Kovac here. Is he gonna try to go for a dive? No, he's not. He's pulled it back. That's it. Mueller has gone slightly wide. And Paulie Hartman is on the bumper of Josh Worley. Actually, I think Josh Worley got past Hartman there. I swear Worley was behind Hartman and Mueller.
That sounds plausible. Just on the speed difference on the straight line, Anderson is 4 kph faster on top speed than LeMay. So yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle to get through.
Or a downhill battle if he decides to overtake in turn 1. But that I feel like that speed is for the back straight and not the start-finish straight.
I'm pretty certain the top speed is on the start finish for any car. I would think so.
Worley gets on the curb there. They almost went too wide there. I think Hartman just backed out. They did a bit safe as coach is finally in the pits. With his actually Josh Damiani took back the fastest lap. It's the 2-minute 005. 2-minute 2.005.
And now Anderson takes it away with a 201.7.
Oh, we got our first 201s in this race. Sanderson finally decides to put his foot down. And that's it. Actually, Kurt LeMay's not far behind. Kurt LeMay's best lap would have been the fastest lap 2 laps ago with a 0.97. So yeah, both these drivers are flying and they're among the fastest in the field.
Jeffries is out from the pits in P11.
Oh, there we go. That's the Porsche dive bomb that I was expecting. Or actually, he doesn't make it stick. But he has the outside line if he's going to try squeezing Mike Gino, or he tries. But the Ferrari just has the better drive in the inside.
I almost feel like it's going to the inside in T1 is not the move, because it gives you such a terrible line through turn 2.
That is true. I mean, because it's a slow corner, even if you go on the outside, you can just if you have the ability to put the foot down, you're gonna be in the inside in turn 2. I think that's how I got past someone in the Enduro, if I remember, before my disconnect. Was it Enduro or was it MCM? I don't know, but yeah, it was. Yeah, they can definitely. I did my overtaker on the outside. You got. Actually, it seems like Logan Schaefer has peeled back from Nick San and now is under pressure from Nico Suave.
Further down the field, Kovac is putting quite significant pressure on Gino, although just as I say that he makes a mistake and loses like 2/10 of a second.
Oh, that's bad racing for you. One single mistake costs you
Yep.
all the progress that you made.
And now Higgs is in the game.
Yeah, I think Higgs is I believe that bull is seeing red now. Because he did get taken out in the hairpin. And he knows that he is faster than the cars ahead. So he's gonna try recovering as much as he can. As Martino has actually these three have caught up with Thomas Allhausen. As Allhausen goes slow, did he run super deep into turn one?
Yeah, I think he went deep. Missed the apex quite badly there. It's so bad, especially in the wet, because if you don't get the car to turn, you can't put your foot down, and then you just don't go anywhere.
We'll try to look up on the outside of Hartman there, but fortunately, Hartman had a better traction. Yeah, it seems like this is where the battles are, from Josh Worley to Matt Higgs.
Anderson is gaining on Damiani, but not very quickly. I'm not sure there's enough laps in the race for that gap to close down.
Yeah, we have
I think he's gaining roughly 2/10 per lap, so it would take quite a long time to close the gap completely.
Oh, Higgs got past Kovac there. Did Kovac lose so much time? What happened there? Oh, it's only 15 seconds as he gets on the curb. He gets on the gravel. He just has a bit of a slide, and that just puts him out so wide. Not too severe.
I mean, only losing one position for that mistake is not too bad, because
Yeah.
that would also lead to much worse consequences.
As Velasquez tries to make the move, but making a move into the chicane, especially a dive, is really unwise. So that's just on these two for a second there. Coach was putting the pressure on Nico Suave, and now the gap was a second in 2 corners. So
Made a mistake in turn 1. I didn't get to see exactly what happened, but he lost almost a full second there.
yeah, I just hopped off there for 2 corners, and yeah. That's it. This battle's still raging on, and I think Coach is not done yet. He's gonna try closing in on Logan Schaefer and Suave. And this battle's still going on. A bit of an update. But I guess Kurt Lemmy doing a great job of holding Boardman. And they have actually caught up with Anderson. They're holding the gap. It's a second between from Anderson to LeMay.
Yeah, there's the kind of complexity in the West that the closer you get to the car in front, the harder it becomes to drive, because you can't see. Like, when you get closer, the spray gets worse. So it's harder to maintain your pace when you get really close to the car in front.
Yeah.
So if you're only a little bit faster, but not like massively faster, you can get stuck there.
I tried to look for the overtake. Unfortunately, I found I didn't go far back enough, and Logan Schaefer has a tag slapper going into the chicane. He recovers it, but he's going to be a sitting duck to Michael Jeffries, who runs wide to get the best exit out of the final corner.
I don't think that X is gonna do anything against the Lexus, but hey, we try.
Yeah. I don't think any exit's going to help against the Lexus. Yeah, that gap has stayed the same from the start of the straight to the end of the straight.
It is rather close though.
That is true. And I believe Coach is Coach is on fresh tires, if I can recall. He's one of the last cars to pit.
He pitted significantly later than. He pitted over 10 minutes later than Logan.
Which, you know, is a lot. makes a difference.
It does.
Speaking of pitting, we still have two cars who have not pitted yet. Kraus and Art. Art with an extremely battered front end from a series of taps in turn 1.
You know, the interesting thing is that especially Kraus is actually doing rather good lap times considering he's not pitted yet.
Yeah, he's putting in the same lap times as Kurt LeMay and Eric Boardman, who are in the Porsches, couple seconds behind them, who have pitted for a fresh set of tires.
Yes, and that is, at the same time, it's impressive, and it has some interesting implications on where Kraus is gonna be when he finally does do his pit stop.
Yeah, it's got Michael Jeffries getting past Logan Schaefer, but he runs wide. That corner is barely flat in the reds, and that is Max Diggs behind him.
It is.
Yeah, Max Diggs is he smells the P10. He smells the top 10. Actually, no, he already has top 10 once the top 2 pit, or maybe they don't. I don't know. But yeah,
He's also doing an impressive job considering his tires are really old.
yeah,
He pitted over 20 minutes before Logan.
yeah. And that said, even Art is doing pretty well with the battered BMW on those tires. His last
Yeah,
lap was a 2-minute 7, which
Yeah, the last lap was really good. The previous lap wasn't that hot, but it is difficult, obviously. And I would almost say the best lap time difference between some of the drivers here and Division 1 isn't that much. I think the bigger difference in general is the consistency.
yeah. And it is difficult to be consistent in the wets with just going wide. Ooh, this coach goes onto the curves and you can see his car just slide.
Slide and not accelerate very well, which brings Diggs right close by. Oh
No.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. That's Coach and Logan lose their possession to Colton and Biggs.
Really lucky for Logan that he did a full 360, so he could keep going without having to do like a 3-point turn or something. Unfortunate to lose positions, but could have been a much worse result there.
Yeah. Let's look at what happened here in Helicam as Logan has such a slow quarter, and
It's also, I think Coach was expecting Logan to run wider on the exit, like most people use the curb even in the wet,
yeah.
and didn't really quite realize that it's not gonna happen that way. And
Oh
then
yeah.
there wasn't space. Arc is finally pitting.
Ooh. Be quite interesting to see where he comes out. I wonder if he's gonna even fix the damage that he has. Considering how fast how good his pace was.
I don't think it makes any sense to repair at this point. If he wanted to repair, he should have just pitted immediately.
Yeah.
Because the longer you drive with the damage, the less you benefit from repairing it. And he does not repair. His stop time was pretty much in line with just the tire chains. Not the best stop. Might have missed the box slightly, but
And he's come out in P24. That's. I mean, he did, yeah.
it's pretty good considering how much time he lost. But obviously, probably not the result he was hoping for.
well, yeah, he's one of the 2 or 3 drivers to actually face the wrong way. Logan Schaefer fighting back. He's finally having a good race. His first couple races have not been nice to him at all, and he's finally got some good traction here. Wasn't he on pole last race, or was it on Watkins Glen?
I don't actually remember. We should have the stats open, but
Yeah. Oh. Paulie Hartman finally got past Josh Burley. I should pay a better eye to the race control.
Kraus is still lapping really impressive pace considering he has not pitted for new tires. Last lap 2:02.2, which is actually faster than Damiani.
And Anderson. Actually, no, that is the fastest last lap.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's Ethan Marvin going super slow. I wonder if he's letting him pass for blue flags. Oh, what's happening there? I do not know what's happening to Ethan Marvin. Coming back to this battle here.
Oh no, Logan.
No.
That's unfortunate. He braked on the curb and lost the rear.
Yeah. No, what the rejoin? Oh, that's safe rejoin. Yeah. This is what happened to Logan Schaefer there. He, yeah. Do not brake on the curbs. Do not push go on the curbs. And
Yep.
I'm just gonna chuck this up to commentator's curse. I think I'm jinxed this race.
LeMay is getting real close to Anderson, while Boardman has actually been falling back a little bit on the last lap.
Yeah, LeMay and Anderson did have have pretty identical last laps.
There's also a very significant train behind Hartman.
Yeah, wait, is that Schaefer in the train? Oh yeah, he got into the, oh, he came out in the middle of the train. It could have been worse. He could have rejoined at the back of the train, which would have been extremely sad. But that said, he's in the Ferrari sandwich. And looks like Alhazen is right is closer to him than he is closer to Mueller. Wonder if that's just worn tires.
Now I'm really curious where Kraus is gonna be after his pit stop. He's still staying out. That's insane.
And he's not slowing down. I mean, he is slower than
The last lap wasn't
yeah.
very good, but I mean, it could be just a small mistake somewhere.
He's as fast as Ivan McCroat, so he's not losing time. So, wonder how fast he's gonna be when he exits the pits. He's absolutely balling now, but he needs to pit. By the way, I wonder if he knows that, right? Surely.
Well, also he can't be thinking of doing the tricky thing where you pit on the final lap and cross the finish line in the pits, because the pit window closes too early. You can't do that. So, I mean, surely he must know that he actually has to pit. But then again, if he's in clear air, so why wouldn't he stay out? If he feels like he's got the lap times, obviously it's better to be in clear and running away.
Oh, and Nico Slavi getting past fellows there, or trying to. Seem they're going too wide into the Schumacher S, and they're staying clean. No, they're not. I completely jinxed that again.
Yeah, that's again unfortunate, and it's really annoying when you go off in a place like that. Like that gravel in the wet, it takes forever to get back from it.
And Colton also had a pretty good recovery drive after not a great first stint.
Until now, and now it's not such a good recovery drive anymore.
Yeah, he actually came out behind Logan Schaefer as well, rejoined behind Logan Schaefer. Oh, that was a Lamborghini hopping the curb there. I guess I can stick with this. Yeah, Diggs is holding on to P10. I mean, I already predicted him being in P10. Actually predicted him being P7, but he's only P9 with maybe Kraz going into the pits of P8. So close enough. As Schaefer got past Mueller.
Yeah, that was some Lexus top speed full
Yeah.
display. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that because you do have to get a good exit from the final corner to do anything on the straight. But yeah, if you get a good exit, then you're in a fast car.
He also did the smart thing of dive bombing so hard that you run in deep to turn 1 and actually keep the inside for turn 2.
Yep.
And this battle...
Ross is finally in the pits.
Oh, yeah. That's a... Yeah, he did some great... That's a great stint from him.
I think he's gonna be in the top 10.
For real? Yeah. I see that as a possibility.
I would think he comes out in like P9-ish. Assuming he didn't mess up the pit entry terribly or something. Should be moving in now.
Oh, there he is. Oh wow, okay. Wonder if he's gonna come out ahead of Nico Suave, maybe. There's Ivan McCrow. Oh, that is an insane overcut, if I've seen one. That's P6 for Kraus.
That's insane. It's also insane considering he was in P16 on the starting grid. And now he's in P6. That's well played.
So we have two drivers who completely opposite strategies. It works out for them. We had Kraus, who stayed till the end of the race before pitting, and we also had
Oh, Kraus is going
Diggs.
side by side with McCrow.
Oh, he's not done yet. He has the fresh tires, so he can actually put the pressure on McCrow as well.
Yeah.
We also had Max Dix, who pitted on at the end of the first lap, who's now in P9. So we had like two completely opposite strategies work out.
Also, Boardman has managed to catch up to LeMay.
Oh, yeah. That gap has decreased. We also have this battle here between Art and Byron. And it seems like Byron came out on top. And it seems like McCrow has pulled away ever so slightly. It's half a second now. But
Well, that makes life interesting.
that's not a curse. He's still ahead.
Well, also, the best part of the track for the Porsche is Sector 1.
Right, man. The leader is on the final lap.
As he has
So it's not quite set and on yet, but also I have a feeling Kraus might be thinking about like how much risk he wants to take at this point, because he's in a really good position to get a lot of points for his Silver Championship. So maybe not take insane risk. Like, do you really need to get that one position?
Yeah, as we have Josh Daviani, he started his final lap in the lead. Yeah, but, I mean, that said, yeah, Kraus is P6. The next silver driver is P9 and it's Diggs. The next, the third place for silver is all the way in P14, so like you said, it does not make any sense for Kraus to take a risk.
No, it's only if like a really good opportunity opens, then you take it. But otherwise, at least if it was me, I would just bring home the points. That's how you win championships. You need to score everything you can rather than try to win every race.
But racing's fun.
Oh, it is. But also winning championships is fun. LeMay is really close to Anderson now.
I wonder if we're gonna see any Hail Marys into the final corner. We did see them in Misano. I think it was Josh Damiani who did it and did not work out in his favor. But Nurburgring is not an easy track to pull Hail Marys at. The only Hail Mary I could think of is the chicane, which is borderline suicidal. So,
It is not enough of a braking zone that, like, you need to be side by side in the braking zone. You can't just, like, fully send it. So I don't think Okay, we're gonna have the leader crossing the line in a moment.
We have Josh Damiani here. He's drifting and sliding. He's gonna cross the line. He's gonna win this race. Just look at him go with Brian Anderson and Kurt LeMay, followed by Eric Boardman. These three did not swap position. There was no sense. Actually, there was a send here from Paulie Hartman on Jason Allen. You might keep an eye on for this.
Kraus does take P6 home in a really impressive drive.
We got Paulie Hartman and Josh Worley going side by side. They're gonna keep it too wide into the final corner as Hartman kind of bumps Worley. Worley's gonna lose the position in Logan Schaefer. Yeah, there we go. There's the Hail Mary he was talking about. That's a
last minute drama.
And that's a pretty close finish from them as well. It's 500 separating Josh Worley from Logan Schaefer. That's pretty close. That's pretty spicy, yeah. I wonder if the stewards are gonna look at that incident between Paulie Hartman and Worley. But then again, that's only a bump and not a full-on murder. But it was an ambitious bump, to say the least.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a few incidents that need to be reviewed, but in general it wasn't such a terrible race. No mass crashes, which is always a positive.
Yeah, so this round, let's go to our top 10. P1 is Josh Damiani, followed by Brian Anderson and Kurt LeMay and Eric Boardman. And then a little bit far back, we had Ivan McRoad and Kraus and then Nick Svan and then Nico Salvi, Max Diggs, Coach Jeff. Was that P10? I think. Doug, there's Doug. I didn't even remember seeing Doug the whole race, but yeah, let's go back to the intermission there. So, what do you think of this race, Oppo? I think it was a pretty exciting finish. It was a bit boring in the middle, but the race livened up that towards the end.
Yeah, there was pretty much at every point there was at least something, like some people relatively close, because it could have been like everybody is over a second away from everybody else. So we didn't have that. So we had something going on. A few unfortunate incidents, but it is rain, it's difficult, things happen. Pretty good race.
Yeah, definitely. Now we get to the interview stage. Now we pulling a third place finisher, Kurt LeMay. Kurt, if you are watching the stream, please join the D1D2 chat. Okay, so we'll just start from the leader, I guess. The winner, Josh Damiani. I'm gonna pull him now. Josh Damiani, you're in the commentary booth. Do you have us?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, congrats on the win.
Thank you. It's great to see the view from the top step of the podium again.
Oh yeah. Talk us your race. You were on the bumper of Roiki, and then he pulled away, and then he had his stop and go 30, and then how was like the car? Was like, I believe we were actually discussing at the start of the race. Our consensus was the Mustang is not going to be best at this track, but yeah, talk us to your race and how the car felt.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people, especially from D1, talking about how the Mustang didn't seem like it was going to be that good, but overall throughout the race, it was a little slip here and there, but the tires hung with it. They managed to stay inside the window, and I think that was really the key. And, I mean, we also had pretty static rain for the whole race, so that really helped.
Yeah, it did seem to worsen up, but I don't think that made a difference for you, did it?
No, not really. I mean, there was a couple laps that felt a bit more squirrely, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah, and what traction control setting were you running? Was it like TC8, like normal dry conditions, or that's just something curious, something secret for a bit of a secret from the winner for the other drivers to listen to?
Well, I ran 5.4, which isn't that aggressive. My teammate Brian was running a 5.0, but yeah, I don't know. It was, I would say, a little bit worse than dry plus TC2.
Yeah, interesting. TC2. Well, I guess that's controlling that slip angle does help a lot.
You got it.
Yeah, and what was your feelings when you saw Roy get the stop and go 30? I imagine the elation from you, but how did you exactly feel?
So I didn't see the pop-up, but I heard someone say, "Oh, Roy got a drive-through," and I immediately missed the next corner and said, "What? What do you mean?" And he goes, "Yeah, 888 got a drive-through or stop go 30," and I'm like, "Okay, I can feel bad about it after the race. Right now, we need to go bring home a win."
But did you feel bad though because you're the one
Oh,
who
it's
came
just
out top?
it's just a shame when that happens. I mean, you do all your practice and it's a minuscule lockup, and now you overspeed in the pits.
Yeah,
Darn.
it does suck. And
Yeah. Plus,
both,
Roy's a friend of Champion Motorsports, so
oh,
always feel bad for them.
yeah, I feel like Roy is a nice guy when I talk to him, but it is super unfortunate that it happened to him. And it sucks it happened twice so far in 4 races as well. In
Yikes.
Suzuka, it was Ivan who lost it from a stop and go 30, and yeah, this time it's Roy. But
It'll bite you.
oh yeah, did you do the enduro though? I believe you were in the Ferrari, if I'm correct.
I was in the Ferrari. Unfortunately, we had a technical issue and got disconnected from the race. And by the time
Oh.
we were back, it was like 13 laps down. So we collectively retired the car.
So you did not even have the added experience of
Honestly, I'm kind of thankful because if you've ever driven the Ferrari and the Mustang, they're about as polar opposites in terms of like what it takes to take a corner at speed, at least
okay.
from my perspective. So there's a lot less bad muscle memory to fight for tonight. But yeah, overall a good race and great showing from Brian. Really proud of D2 for how clean we kept the start of the race.
Oh
It seemed
yeah.
like there wasn't that much carnage going on.
I think it was 2 cars collected in at the end of the Mercedes-Benz arenas, but we did have a bit of lingering accidents, but it happens. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty clean. But yeah, P1 and 2 for your team. That's huge for your Drivers' Championship, which I believe you get Team Championship, which I believe you guys are already leading.
I
Just
think
extending
we
the
got
gap.
in second, but yeah, that the second double podium of the season definitely helps. Those top points can help build a bit of a gap.
Gotcha. Yeah, Ilpo, you have any questions for him?
So I'm curious about your pit strategy. How did you did you plan it before the race, or was it kind of more like on the fly decisions on when exactly to pit?
I had a game plan going into the race. I wanted to get as close to the midpoint as possible for sure to make sure there wasn't going to be any funky weather activity near the end of the race. But then when I saw Roy pit in, and I had the lap that I did on that lap, followed by him getting the drive-through, I'm like, let's just get in and get it over with. We're right at the midpoint, anyways. Split the tire, we're right down the middle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And was there any tire issues? Or
I wouldn't say so. I by all means don't think I could have went the full hour on the same set, but I think I could have went probably as long as I can't remember who it was, but the person who went all the way till the end there before they pit.
oh, that was
It actually wasn't too bad.
yeah. Yeah. Cool. You have any shout outs aside from your teammate who we'll pull in next?
Yeah, well, my teammate directly, of course. Everybody over at Champion Motorsports, our great group of quote-unquote pit crew that enjoy not only the red zone of all of our streams, but also help feed us some of the information going on through the race. So, shout out to them, and yeah, I mean, shout out everybody. Let's have another good race next week.
Oh, definitely. It's older as well, which the Mustang is strong.
I'm not strong. It's older though, so
Yeah, well, you
we'll
can
see how
figure it
practice
out.
goes.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations. Thanks for the win. Ilpo, do you have any final any questions or thoughts before we send it back?
No, not really.
Gotcha.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. Great work in the booth as always, and look forward to watching it back.
Oh, appreciate it. But see ya.
See ya.
That was our leader, Josh Damiani. Let's pull in his teammate who finished on the second step of the podium, Brian Anderson. Hi, Brian. You're in the commentary booth. Do you have us?
Hello.
Hey, congrats on the podium, double podium for for the team. How do you feel? Talk us through your race.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I had to fight for it. I feel like I had LeMay chasing me down probably the whole race. Within a second or a half, he would gain on me in every single corner, the hairpin especially, and then I would leave him on the straight, and it would just be the same thing every lap. And I was just telling myself, just don't make any mistakes, and this will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm a bit sad that I lost P2 on lap 2. Somebody had taken out the 150 marker, and I was so close behind Key that I didn't see. I was looking for the first marker, thinking that would be the 150, and I passed it and just barely realized it was a 100, so I was braking way too late. But you know, on the upside, that gave Josh the jump, and then Key got the stop go 30. So yeah, still a 1-2 for the team, and I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, it's a huge haul of points, and it's a huge step closer to drinking from a shoe. So
Yeah, you gotta look forward to that.
but
We just barely missed out on the team championship last season, so I'm hoping we can clinch it this time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, coming back to the battle for P2 that you had for basically the whole race. Was the pressure getting to you? You said you were making mistakes, but did you feel at any point like, oh shit, kind of moment?
Yeah, I mean, I knew any significant mistake and it was over. So I don't think I ever sweat that much in a rain race. So, but it was definitely, it kept me honest. Just told myself to not try anything too bad, but I still had to keep the pace up to not let him catch me too close. So yeah, it all worked. I managed to find the balance, and I'm really happy with that.
Gotcha.
And especially since last week I wasn't able to race at all due to the wildfires, so I feel like it's a good way to come back from that.
Well, hope you're staying safe. And hope
Yeah,
everyone's
I'm safe for now.
Sad. That's good to hear. Elpo, do you have any comments for him? Any questions?
No, I'm just gonna comment that was impressive how you managed to stay calm and not make any big mistakes while being chased like that, because I know just like how rough it can be. So well done.
Yeah, I usually make a mistake when I'm being chased. I much rather would chase someone else than be chased, so I'm surprising myself that I did it too. So thank you.
And do you have any shout outs before we send you back?
Yeah, shout out to my teammate Josh and Champion Motorsports for the support. So looking forward to next week, and thank you for commentating every week. Thank you very much.
It's been our pleasure. Right. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yep. And that was our P2 finisher, Brian Anderson, the other champion motorsport car. And now we're going to move on to our third place. So I believe, actually, I did see them in the chat, in the race chat. And now they're not there. So it's unfortunate that we couldn't pull them over. But yeah, that was a pretty exciting race. P2 continues to deliver.
Yep.
And let's actually go back to the track map, because this is new for the streams. This is new for the streams. I say no, that's the wrong one. Calendar. There we go. Yeah, this is new for the streams. Next race, we have Sunny Zolder. It's I mean, we have done Zolder a lot of times in the past, and we still make really funny mistakes of running over the curbs. So, but Zolder is an interesting track, especially it's a fun spectator track as well, with how close, because the track is extremely short, we're going to see a lot of lap traffic, we're going to see a lot of cars on top of each other essentially for most of the race. So it's gonna be one to look at for, as well as is everything else.
As a driver, I'm really not looking forward to Zolder. If you would remove the first chicane, or have a little bit better suspension physics, it would be good. But yeah, it's when you're really pushing, you have to push it so close to the limit there, and it's just not that much fun. And of course, it being a very short track kind of reduces the opportunities for pit stop shenanigans. Because if you pit early, you are very likely to get lapped if you're a slower driver. So
Yeah, and that is a complete contrast to the next track, Mount Panorama, which is one of the longest tracks in ACC. Well, third longest if after Nords and Spa. So, but that's not even 2 weeks later. I believe that's like 3 weeks later because I believe we have Daytona holiday.
yes, that is correct. So there's a break week after the shoulder, because most of us are going to be, well, many of us are going to be at the Daytona Beach, watching the Daytona 24 in real life. And it would be a little bit rough to be racing on Tuesday when some of us only get back on Monday.
Yeah.
So.
It's just a reminder for all of you folks interested in going to Daytona to book the tickets and sort your accommodations. And yeah, try to meet up with SRA as well. I think this is the biggest group going to Daytona as well. The biggest SRA Daytona meetup so far. Fortunately, I can't make it. Maybe next year. Yeah,
It is a fantastic. It's really a fun event to see all the racing. The racing is fantastic. IMSA is great, but also to meet all the people that you only know from online things. It's always fun to meet people.
Oh, definitely put face to names. Find out whose name is a pseudonym and who's not. And then obviously we have the karting where you sort out who's faster on track in real life. So yeah, it's definitely something which I guess it's always super fun. But yeah, that's next week. So if you're interested, remember to book the tickets, sort out accommodation, sync up with Doug. I think he's organizing all of this, I believe. So yeah. Prepare yourself for Daytona. But yeah, you have anything else before you close the stream off?
I mean, obviously, thanks to anyone actually watching this. But yeah, kind of looking forward to next week on the commentating side. Kind of not looking forward to next week on the driving side.
Yeah. And before we head off, I actually forgot to do this in the race. The sponsor ad read. I'll just do this on the screen while you guys look at the beautiful track layouts. A huge thank to the SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from from Documize, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documize.com to learn more. And the support from RetroSaga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today by going to retrosaga.ca. A big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer, for experience redefined gaming with track races, high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE, that's SRA capitalized with TE, lowercase, at checkout to support us. And then we have Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that'll enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC, because there's no such thing known as excessive HUD. And AT3D Sim Shop, upgrade your sim racing experience with premium sim racing accessories. Featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, the cable management solution, versatile Steam Deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Enter innovative designs, enhance performance, style, and performance. I just messed that up. Enhances performance and style. Elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at AT3D.net. And then we have Go Setups. Premium esports setups for everyone. Use the affiliate link in the Discord and take your drive to the next level. Also, if you subscribe, Go Fast is a great app. I just discovered that. We have Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting-based specialized crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and Fairy World collectibles, magic wands, portions, mini dioramas, wall decors, customary cosplays, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concerts, your source for custom automotive rendering, graphic designs, and printing. We spent countless hours making you look good, all for the spectacle. Check out KP Concepts for more. And that's our sponsor read. I should have done this like in qualifying or the race, but I forgot. But here we are. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the race, and that's the end of the stream. I've been Arjun, and in Elpo, gonna say bye.
Yep. See you next week.
Yep, see you next week.